Hello, it's Nick Green here again from Little River Forge. As you can see, I'm not in the forge today. I'm back up in our art room. Basically, I'm going to take you through my latest project. This was probably like the hardest blade I've made so far. This is blade number 10, I believe. My son Liam asked me to make him a kitchen style chopper. And he's got lots of barbecues, ribs, smoking food and all that kind of stuff. And so I just wanted to make something really nice for him. He's my son, and I remember when I was a kid in school, near the end of school, I made my dad a screwdriver and a little toffee hammer. I remember years later telling him about it, and he said, "Yeah, I've still got it. I use it. It's in my toolbox." I was like, "Wow!" And it's like, just when you do stuff like this, you know, this stuff will last longer than me, hopefully, and you know, it'll outlive me, and that's one of the beauties of making anything that's, you know, permanent. You know, I do a lot of tattooing, and most people I tattoo now are younger than me, so that'll live on, but hopefully these will live on even longer. So let's get into it. So basically, I just decided to do pretty funky style. Before I tell you about that, I got really lucky. This is a rosewood handle, and a friend of mine gave me a real big piece of rosewood. I had to go on the internet to find out what it was. A lot of people helped me out with that. So obviously, with being a kitchen knife, I had this big piece of rosewood. So to go along with his knife, I've also made him a rosewood chopping block, and sounds amazing, and it's like super freaking heavy. So yeah, so that's the first bit. That's the chopping block. So onto the knife. Started off with a really big piece of 1095. You can see it's still, I've left it pretty thick because it is, you know, it is a chopper. There'll be a little video of in here of chopping apples and chicken and stuff like that. So yeah, so it started off with a big piece of 1095, and why this was so hard for me is I pretty much forged this completely to shape. So obviously the thickness here, forging down to this size was, you know, it was a big effort. I haven't got a power hammer or anything like that, just a normal hammer and, you know, elbow grease. But yeah, I did like a really it's my kind of like first ever kind of full grind, like from nothing all the way up to the spine. Obviously I've put like an extra edge on it. It's like super sharp. It's really sharp. As you can tell, I've cut my thumb, cut my finger this morning just picking it up. So that, you know, I should probably give him a little warning when I pass it on. So yeah, so like I just really love this shape. This knife I'm actually going to give a name, and it's called the Evolution, because I'll put some pictures up of, like, you know, the progress on this video, and you'll see it kind of like changed about 20 times, the shape and stuff like that. I just kind of having different ideas and stuff like that, and that's the beauty of it, because, you know, you're making it from something flat and you can turn it into something beautiful, which was also really functional. So the handle on this is, like I said before, it's rosewood. It's either Colombian or maybe Indian rosewood, and a friend of mine found it. There was an old wood yard that shut down back in the 80s, and it was there. He found it in the 80s, so it's an old piece of wood. It's a beautiful thing. I'm not sure whether you're going to be able to see the grain on it, but it has got an absolutely beautiful grain on it. And to just bring out that grain, all I used is some tung oil, Tung oil, to bring it out. It's lovely, and I did the same on the chopping block, so obviously they match. And for the pins on this one, I use copper, which is usually I use brass or sometimes like old bolts, and I cut them up and use them as pins. But I use copper for this because Liam's wife Harley is obsessed with copper, and they've got lots of it in their house and stuff in the kitchen. And I thought obviously that would go really well with it. I love this little tail kind of thing on here. I tried to play with the angles, like this one going that way and so on, just to make it attractive and make something really pretty. So yeah, like I say, this is an extra special knife for me because I made it for my son, and it's going to be one in a series because I'm going to make. I've got 2 daughters as well, and I'm going to make them a kitchen knife each and a chopping block to go with it. So it's quite nice, and they'll all be in this little set. And obviously these won't be for sale. These are just going. These are for family. Work-wise, I believe that it took me about 60 hours. Now a lot of that is because I'm still learning. I haven't got like the big massive grinders and stuff like that. So it took me a long time. If you have a look on the other videos about forging tools that don't cost a fortune, you can see what I'm working with, and I actually do a little bit of grinding on that video on this actual blade. It's turned out really, really nice. I really love it. I'll be honest with you, I've actually made 2 blades during the time I started this because there was so much grinding, so much hammering and stuff like that, where it was a big learning curve. But I think it's come out absolutely beautiful. It's a chopper and it chops. It's nice and shiny. I think you can see all the background there in the blade. It's I'm just really happy with it. I'm really happy to pass this on to my son. I know he'll get good use out of it, and maybe there's talk of him starting his YouTube channel about his cooking and his barbecuing and stuff like that, because he's immensely knowledgeable about all that kind of stuff. So obviously if he does do that, I'll make a video and give him a big up. Yeah, I think that's about it really. I'll stick some photos on. It might be the video of the chopping and stuff like that. Sorry, yeah, about sharpening it. I started off on the belt grinder, just put like a real nice edge on it, and did that all the way up to, on the whetstone, I think it was 8,000 the grit on the whetstone, and so it is really lovely and sharp. I say I've chopped some chicken and some apples and that, and it stayed lovely and sharp. I did the paper cut test the other day, and it works. And I shaved a bit of hair off my leg, and everything went really well. So yeah, so this is the Evolution, and I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy the video. Do the like and subscribe thing, and because they love it, I'm going to say hi, Tyler and Cody, my oldest grandsons. They love YouTube. And hello to my sister who also watches me on YouTube. During the lockdown, it's one of the only ways that she gets to see me. So right, I'm going to leave you. Thank you very much. This is the Evolution, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.